going on, world? DS1 Ross, and we back here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to everyone who support the platform. Much love, much love, much love. If you are here, you can hear me clearly. Please drop your ones in the chat. Drop your ones in the chat. Please drop your ones in the chat. Let me know if y'all can hear me clearly out there, y'all, before we get right into today's show. Let me know if y'all can hear me clearly. Just drop a one in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me so we can get into today's show. Just drop a one. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Okay, let me get a couple of more ones, y'all. Let me get a couple of more. Let me get a couple of more. Let me know if y'all can hear me out there. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Am I clear? Am I clear out there? Am I clear? I see some ones. I see some ones. Shout out to everyone that's dropping a one. Shout out to everyone that's dropping a one. Get a couple of more ones, y'all, so we can get into it. We're going to get into it today. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Drop a one in the building. Okay. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Shout out to everyone that's in the building right now. Shout out to everyone that's in the building right now. And of course, we are back right here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. I'm you guys' host, DS1 Ross, of course. Man, I appreciate all the love and support. Salute to everyone that's in the building right now. Shout out to all the visionaries, man. Shout out to all the visionaries. Shout out to my lovely lady mods. As always, I appreciate all the love and the support. Salute to everyone that's in the building. Man, got another great show lined up for you guys today. So let's see who's here. Let's see who's here. I need you guys to double tap y'all screens and hit the like button on the way in. Double tap y'all screens, hit the like button on the way in, and we're going to get right into it. Let's see who's here. Shout out to Mind Ballroom. What's up, Mind Ballroom? Salute to you. Salute. I appreciate your support. Shout out to my man Elisino in the building. Salute, OG. Salute, champion. I appreciate your support, man, as always. Salute. Shout out to Miss Classy Creole in the building. One of my lovely lady mods that always come through and hold it down over here. Shout out to you, Miss Classy Creole. I appreciate you. Shout out to my man, Arthur Wall. Salute, Arthur Wall. Good afternoon. Joseph Burbo. What's up, Jab? I'm going to just call you Jab. What's up, Jab? Salute to you. Salute. Let's see who else is up in the building today before we get into it. Greg Powell. What's up, Greg Powell? Salute. What's up, Cynical? How you doing? Shout out to the Cynical one in the building. Appreciate you, Cynical. What's up, Hassan? Salute to you. Salute. Shout out to everyone in the chat. What up, Wok? What's going on? Hey, Miss Camille. Good to see you, love. Good to see you. Shout out to you. Another one of my lovely lady mods that always come through and hold it down. Shout out to you, sweetheart. I appreciate you. Man, y'all see the show. Y'all see the show. Wow. Man, shout out to my man Bob, man. Salute, my brother. Salute, salute, salute. Glad to hear that, my brother. Salute to you, man. I'm glad you all good, man. Y'all see the show, man. Y'all see the show. Senator Cruz versus the world. How he's fighting for your rights and values. Now, I know a lot of us are probably wondering, like, a lot of you guys are probably like, well, DS1, why did you start talking about politics and all of this Trump stuff and what's going on? Like, are you a Trump fan? Are you a Trump fan? And I could understand that because that's how a lot of us was taught to think. You know, a lot of us have this herd mentality where we have to pick, or should we be on the side of the populace? Right? Thanks, sis. I appreciate that. She says, I love the political talk. What's up, Miss L'Oreal? Shout out to Miss L'Oreal in the building. We are 3 for 3 today, y'all, on the lovely lady mods. Shout out to my lovely lady mods in the building. Double tap y'all screens if y'all are coming on the way in, right? On the way in, double tap y'all screens. That's how y'all hit the like button. Also, share the show, man. Make sure y'all share the show. Make sure y'all support the show with a like and a share, right? But I think, especially for the brothers who support this channel, because y'all know that's what this channel is about. It's about male empowerment, male motivation, manhood. And something that I remember as a young boy. Shout out to my brother Papa Flock in the building. Salute, bro. Appreciate your support as always. And I remember as a young guy hanging out with my dad. And one of the things my dad always did was my dad always watched the news. My dad always stayed on the up and up with things that's going on in the world. And he used to tell me, because he used to sit me down as a young boy, 4, 5, 6 years old, and he used to have me watching this stuff with him. And he used to tell me that, son, one day you're going to be a man and you need to understand what's going on in the world because you need to know how to navigate. That is one of the things he told me. You need to know what's going on out here because you need to know how to navigate. You need to know what to do, how to do it, when to do it. You need to understand the climate of the environment. So you have to stay on the up and up when it comes to things. Oh, you are a woman. Okay. Mom Ballroom says, and yes, I'm a woman. You asked me that. Okay. Okay. Shout out to you, Mom Ballroom. I just didn't want to be addressing you as a guy and you a woman. So shout out to Mom Ballroom. Right. And I think that as men, especially as Black men, right, we need to focus on what's going on in the world. Because if we're going to say we're the leaders, or if we are the supposed leaders, the leaders must understand what's going on outside, what's going on in the world. But more times than another, a lot of us brothers, we focused on all the wrong stuff. We worried about all the wrong things. You see? And since this election stuff, I see a lot of brothers who are ready for things to change in society. See, because whether y'all know it or not, whether y'all want this or not, right? Traditionalism is making its way back. Now, I know a lot of y'all has fought for progress. Y'all fought for progress. Y'all wanted progress. But look at where we are now. Look at where we are with all of this supposed progress we've made. All of this woke, I'm woke. All this, the conscious community. The consciousness. You know, all of that stuff was weaponized against us. See, because now to be woke is not to be conscious about your people and who you are and where you came from. See, that's what woke was originally about. Because I was a part of that conscious movement crap. I was a part of that. I told y'all this plenty of times. I met Sinetta. I was up there. I was buying the DVDs. I was doing all of that. I was wearing unks. Sure was. Reading the Egyptian Book of the Dead. Believing in gods and goddesses. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that time? The conscious community, woke, being woke. I'm aware. Who remembers that? The woke conscious community. See, like I told y'all years ago, that stuff was a psyop. It was a psyop. It was a big shit show where a lot of those guys were able to make a lot of money. Your Sinettas, your Brother Polites, your stinking Minister Inky, Dr. Ali Muhammad. You know, all of these guys made money off of this charade called the conscious community. See, because this is modern woke, conscious, to be woke. That's what it is in today's time. And if you trace this woke, conscious stuff back to the conscious community, because that's who was promoting Black people being woke. That was the community back in the early 2000s. See, some of y'all may be a little too young. So you may not understand how they used the conscious community to quote unquote wake us up. Oh yeah, we're gonna walk this down today. We're gonna walk it down today. Y'all know how we do over here. Shout out to everyone in the building. We're gonna walk this thing down. We're gonna walk it down. Shout out to everyone, man. Shout out to Cuzzo in the building. What up, Cuzzo? Shout out to Jeff Reviews on the pull-up. Salute. Shannon B in the building. What up, Shannon B? Shout out to Cuzzo in the building. Salute the Heels in. Salute, salute, salute. Double tap y'all screens on the way in, y'all. Make sure y'all support the show. Right? Go back to your early 2000s. 2003, 2004, 2005. This is when the conscious community took off. To be woke. What it is to be woke is to be conscious. See? This is where you get sheep stay sleep from. Because I was conscious. I was woke. At least I thought I was. I was woke. Yeah, the conscious community. The conscious community. And this is the same community that platformed the MOOCs. Follow me. Follow me now. This is the conscious community. Those woke Negroes is the same Negroes that introduced everyone to the Bambaataa story. Oh, we going there today. We going there today. This stuff was a psyop. You want to know who introduced the LGBTQ plus community to black folk and got us used to being around them? The conscious community. These so-called woke black folk, they're the ones who brought in the LGBTQ plus community around black folk and made it popular. See, all of this was part of being woke in today's society. In modern day, this is modern day consciousness. See, everybody always knew that Africa Bambaataa was a MOOC. But who bought the Bambaataa story? Sinetta. Who bought us all of the MOOCs and PDF files? Who was housing them? The House of Consciousness. See, I told this. Why you think I made the shirt with a PlayStation controller on it saying you think it's a game? See, y'all think this stuff is just stuff to talk about. No, this stuff is real life. I was around that. See, this is why I could break it down in the way that I do, because I was there. I participated in the conscious community. The conscious community got thousands of my dollars. Thousands. Thousands. I went to LIU and was at the lectures. Yeah. Yes. Who you think brought up all of this stuff? See, we talking about Diddy. Who started this conversation? Who started off with this conversation of a sex ring? Africa Bambaataa. And what did Africa Bambaataa represent to black folk? What did he represent? Consciousness, being woke. And where does Africa Bambaataa get his woke, his conscious talk and information from? He gets it from a pedophile by the name of Malachi Z. York. Are we connecting the dots? Are we connecting the dots? See, because what we found out is these PDF files, like Malachi York, like Brother Polite, these dudes are mooks. They identify as LGBTQ plus IA. Why do you think Sinetta had a conversation with Cleo Monango? Go to Google and type in Cleo Monango, LGBTQ plus community. These are your people who sold us out because they wanted to get away from traditionalism. They're trying to make wrong the new tradition. They want mooks rain dancing in the middle of the street and calling that normal in society. And they used Black people because they thought they was fighting against something by fighting against traditionalism, when all you was doing was stripping your own rights and values away from yourself. You see? All that woke talk, all of that is LGBTQ stuff. That's why the conversation about sexual preference and race, why you think they intertwined it? Because it's all a DEI issue. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. See, they use the conscious community, a Black face, to intertwine the struggles. So now you can't talk about the Black struggle without talking about the gay struggle. Now it's not just about Black folk having rights because they're American, they're Black Americans. Now it's about, what's your preference though? Because if you a straight man, then you believe in traditionalism and you follow the patriarchy. This is what they're doing. This is what's happening. This is why society is in chaos. Because we've been convinced not to practice having values. See, that is what traditionalism was all about. And y'all are fighting against it. And guess what you're doing? You're tearing down, you are tearing down the fabric of family. This is what y'all don't understand. You fighting so bad to be an individual, forgetting that you come from somewhere. You come from some people. But what's more important to you is your individualism. What's more important to you is who you want to sleep with over being being with your family. This is what's happening. And let me tell y'all, it's not just happening in the Black household. That's why you got Senator Cruz going against all these new modern shit. This is what the Trump administration is against. He's against this new modern way of living and modern way of thinking, because this is the shit that's destroying the earth. This is the reason why the goddamn white woman birth rate is still so low. See? It's past racism. This is why you have these white men fighting for traditionalism. What is part of traditionalism? The nuclear family. The nuclear family. Teaching your children based on their gender. Remember in schools, this is why you had in the curriculum, as a boy, as a young man, you had shop class. My dad was in shop class. This is why a lot of us don't know how to change tires. Because it's not in the curriculum, because we want modern shit. So they taught the millennials graphic design, web design, Microsoft Excel. This is why a lot of us are not handy. We got to go to trade school to learn how to use our hands. Because we said we need to move away from tradition. See, traditionally, men were taught how to use their hands. Even if they were intellect, every man had to know or have a blue collar skill. That was in the school system. That was tradition. See, because my father didn't go on and use his hands at his career. He used his brain. But before my father got there, my father worked in factories. As I told y'all before, my father worked for the speaker company, Gemini. He was making speakers. See, because if you know how to work with your hands, you are always employable. You are always employable. But y'all are against tradition. Right? Y'all that get on the internet talking about, oh, my grandfather ain't make enough money. Your ass wasn't even alive. Shut up. What you know what it was to live in the 50s? Huh? Yeah. Your grandparents probably didn't make as much money as you, but I'm going to tell you what they did do better than you. They saved more goddamn money than you. Let's ask ourselves this. Why are we in a modern world or in a modern day way of thinking, but the traditional people know how to save more money? Huh? Let's have the conversation. Why do traditional people, people from back in the day, our grandmothers and grandfathers and great grandmothers and great grandfathers, they made significantly less money than us, but they saved more? Answer that. Why were they able to conserve more than us? Huh? Because traditionally, a traditional lifestyle, right, keeps you living longer. Now, I know some of y'all may not want to hear that, but let's just look at the facts. Some of our grandparents lived till they was 90-something years old. Some of us got friends that died from health issues at 40 years old. Why great grandma been eating hog maws and she 98? She's still alive. But your homegirl who was drinking Ciroc, she died at 42. But Papa been drinking corn liquor and he 104. Huh? Why we got 40-year-old men walking around here with canes? Why we 40 years old walking around with canes? Why we got young women, not even 30 years old, with ovarian cysts, fibroids? They have trouble conceiving children at 22 years old, 23 years old. Your whole womb messed up. Your grandmama had 23 children. We're not paying attention to that. Your grandmama had 23 children. You struggling to have one. You struggling to have one. Grandma ain't never had no goddamn fibroids. Why grandma ain't had no fibroids? Why grandma ain't had no cysts? Why grandma ain't have endometriosis? Why grandma ain't had that? Why grandma ain't have ovarian cancer? Why grandma didn't have that? Why great grandma didn't have that? But we fought for this stuff, y'all. We fought for this. We tired of the traditional way of living. Now your ass can't even sit down and have a child. You done fought. Now I'm not going to say you. We done fought for death. That's what you was fighting for. That's what we was fighting for. Modern day stuff. Look what all this modern shit is getting us. This is the stuff that our great grandmamas used to tell us and great grandfathers used to tell us to stay away from. See, when great grandma was alive, it wasn't no eating McDonald's. Ain't no eating McDonald's 3 days a week. I don't give a goddamn how much money you got. See, when great grandma and them was around and you go around them, or when your grandmama was alive and you go around them and they ask you, hey boy, what you eat today? And every time you go to their house, you tell your grandparents, oh, I had McDonald's. You know what grandparents used to do? Call their kids and cuss them out. Who remember them grandparents? Who remember those grandparents? You better not keep going. Every time you go over your grandparents' house, you better not tell them you had no Chinese food. You better not tell them you had McDonald's. She gonna call her daughter and cuss her ass out. Cuss her out. Why you keep feeding that goddamn boy McDonald's? Why every time he come to my house, he got a Happy Meal? You trying to kill my grandbaby? Huh? You trying to kill my grandson? This what grandparents used to see. This is why a lot of y'all want that modern shit. Cause you don't want nobody to check your ass. See, this is part of modern day living too. Nobody could call you and check you about nothing. See, traditionally, family checked each other. Family checked each other. Now everybody tiptoeing around each other. Now everybody acting like, I don't want to piss them off. That's how you know we not family. Because everybody tiptoeing and faking. This is that modern day shit. This that modern day shit. You got one goddamn house cooking for Thanksgiving now. Where are we? What world are we in? Y'all don't think one household cook on Thanksgiving now? Just one. I only cooked enough for me and my kids. Oh, really, nigga? When we start doing that? See that modern day shit? That selfishness is just about me and mine. Like you ain't in the whole goddamn world with other people. It's just about me and mine. That's that new modern day shit. Yeah, I remember when I was little, in my family, I was going to Thanksgiving dinner on both sides of my family. I went to Thanksgiving with my mother. No, me and my mother went to my father's family houses first. We did my father's family houses in the daytime, me and my mother. At night, we going to her family house and her homegirl's house to eat more food. Now, I ain't cooking nothing. I don't want nobody in my house. See that? See? This is showing you where we at. What happened to family? I remember when I was little, people was, and mind you, my friends is from the projects. Yeah, my friends, see, I ain't grow up in the projects, but my block was like the projects. And a lot of younger guys that lived in the projects hung out on my block. That's the neighborhood I'm from. And then I also grew up in another part of Brooklyn, right? That was just like the projects, but we didn't live in the projects. But my mother's best friend, she lived in the projects. You know how much food we had in the projects? In the projects! My mother's friend used to be giving out plates to strangers. I'm not lying. Homeless people on Christmas back in the 90s. You hungry? Go make them a plate and make us run downstairs and give it to the homeless person. What happened to that? What happened to that? Family. Family. What happened to this phone call? Girl, I know you and such done been it, but you better get over here and get you a plate. What happened to that? I don't care. Before the night is up, you better come get a plate. What happened to that? And you got people who living and acting like this is normal now. What happened to that? What happened to traditionalism? You know what my grandmother used to say? You never deny a person food. You never deny a person food. My mother's mother, house was open to all my uncle's homeboys who ain't have a place to stay, who couldn't get nothing to eat. They could stop at my grandmother's house because they know it's something to eat over there. And her doors is open. They used to come in there with my uncles, hug and kiss my grandmother. I know you got something to eat. Yup, what you want? You hungry? You might have to go in the refrigerator and get it and heat it up. What happened to that? See, this is part of traditionalism that y'all don't talk about here on YouTube. Y'all always talking about a goddamn job. What about family first? See, before we even get into employment, we got to talk about the family and the family dynamic. See, the reason why Papa, right, was able to take care of his family and all he did was fix cars is because he had a wife, your grandmama, who didn't view him less of a man because of what he done. Because guess what grandma did? Guess what the woman of the family did? She made sure that her and all those goddamn kids respected that man, whether he bought $25 in the house or 25 cents. Because guess what that woman was going to do? She was going to make it work with whatever that man bought in the goddamn house. Because we family first. We family first. And we not going to let money break up our family. See? Because we supposed to be family whether we got it or whether we don't. That's still your father. That's still your grandfather. That's still your uncle. What happened to those teachings? Now you got these new little niggas in families that think they could talk shit because they got a better cell phone than you. And this shit is cool now. See, back in the day, that little nigga would have got lifted up in the air. And we'd have made him pee on himself and tell him watch his mouth. Now the little girls could talk slick and challenge auntie and get slick all out their mouth. And then what you idiots say? Oh, this ain't like back in the day. What the fuck that's supposed to mean? Excuse my language. What does that supposed to mean? So respect changes due to the time? You got these young girls thinking somebody owe them some respect in the family. You got the youngins in the family now thinking somebody owe them something. Somebody got to tell them something. That's because traditionally, family is not family no more. And see, whether you know it or not, this is the stuff Donald Trump is against. He wants to bring back traditionalism, family. Family. Because guess what? Guess what is the nucleus of an entrepreneur? His or her family. The term that people like to use that was made popular by the Nation of Islam called do for self. Who remember hearing that? Do for self. See, now y'all niggas think do for self mean myself. Goofies. See, you're goofy. You don't even know what you're talking about. See, do for self don't mean just do for myself. Self is you and the people that look like you. That's why you see the brothers on the corner together selling the final call. That's doing for self. Not just for myself, but for my brother and for my sister. Because we family. That's do for self. You do things as a family to take care of self, which is the family. A unit. Like your body is a unit. All the systems in the human body works in unison. You think do y'all think I'll be able to be up here talking if all my faculties didn't work in sync? This is why God stresses family. Because guess what? That's how your body operates. Your respiratory system, your endocrine system, your digestive system. All of these systems is a part of the family that works in unison to make up self. Yourself, your mama, your aunt, your brother, your cousin, self. You don't get it, right? A lot of y'all may not get that. It probably went over y'all heads. You might have to catch the replay. You might have to catch the replay. Shout out to my man Club in the building. What up, Club? What's up, Scorpio? How you doing? You see? So, what got me speaking about Trump is the fact that he's focused on traditional morals and values. And that's something I'm with. You see? See, we won't need or think we will need all this excess of money if we went back to doing things as a family. You know why it costs so goddamn, you know why they say it costs so much to raise a child today? Because that's for a single parent. That's why they say it take $300,000 to raise a child today. You think if that child was being raised and taken care of by a whole goddamn family, it'd take $300,000? That's why they saying that, because they've taught us and trained us to be rugged individuals. For you to be the strong black single mother. Never looking for help, none of that. That's what they want you to do. They want you to be that struggling father that's trying to prove he a man to everybody. That's what they want. But if we was family like we used to be, he won't be on child support. Because guess what? We work together. It don't matter who the boss is, nigga. You think the Mexicans care about who's the boss? His boss is his cousin. Does it matter? Because guess what they all doing? Bringing all that money back to one house. They bringing it back to the family. They bringing it right back to the family. And then guess what they're going to do in the morning? Get up together and go back to work. Together. All they wives in the house with the kids. A family. Ain't about no fucking money. Guess what them women going to do? They're going to make what they husbands put in their hand. They're going to make it work like grandpa used to do and grandma. Grandpa probably ain't make $1,000 this week. But guess what grandma gonna do? It's okay. It's okay. We gonna eat bean soup. You ain't gonna miss no meals. Ain't nothing getting cut off in here. You might can't get the new Reeboks yet. Yeah, let's talk. Let's have a real conversation. Let's talk about what tradition really is, what it really looked like. Y'all get on the internet and play these bullshit games and like to have bullshit conversations where all we doing is putting each other down. When all we doing is telling ourselves what we can't do. We done got so used to telling each other what we can't do, we can't figure out what to do. Nobody has an idea on how to fix nothing. But guess what we all got? Guess what we all could chip in on? Or who messed it up? Oh, he did it. Oh, yeah, he did it. Oh, yeah, he did it. We could all sit around and have a long conversation on who's the goddamn blame. But when you ask this, well, what's the solution? Here go Jeopardy. The Jeopardy sound comes on. Now niggas getting up leaving. Oh, I ain't got time for this. I thought this was gonna be about something. When you get to asking them questions, well, what you gotta add to the solution? What's your solution for the problem? See, because I was never the problem. I ain't asked you that. I didn't ask you that. I said, what you think we should do about it? That's what I asked you. I ain't asked you what you messed up. I asked you what you think we should do. Well, I know you ain't never think about that because you ain't planning to do shit but continue to complain. And this is the problem with the black community today. And this is why y'all got a problem with Donald Trump, because you ain't got no goddamn solutions to nothing. You ain't never think about it. You ain't never even think about it because you've been looking for a goddamn savior. You've been looking for a government official to come and say, here, look what I got. Like a genie. This is how I know our people love evil. We love being deceived and manipulated. A lot of y'all are going to fulfill the prophecy of when the Bible said it's going to be a false idol to crack the sky. And y'all going to think it's God. Because y'all ain't got no solutions. You ain't got no solutions. You ain't even looking for one. You looking for somebody to say, hello, I'm here to rescue from all your problems. You're looking for a genie. A genie is a jinn, a demon that they show you in Aladdin. Yeah, the genie, that's a jinn. Genie, jinn. It's a demon. I can rescue you from all your problems. I'm going to grant you 3 wishes. This is what black folk looking for. It's the majority of us looking for. Because we great at talking about what's wrong. See, this is why I had to go back and remind y'all about what family used to be, because a lot of us forgot that shit. A lot of us been hurt so much and hurt so deeply, we forgot about those family reunions. When you and all your cousins used to sleep in one room at the family reunion. Whoever fall asleep first, you put toothpaste on their mouth and then on their hands. Who remember that stuff? Who remember that? You and your cousins sitting up cracking jokes on each other all night. Family! What happened to that? Now you might want to clap one of your cousins you see them. You see where we at? You don't even like your cousin no more. You don't even like that nigga. You don't know why. You just look at his Facebook. I don't like him. All you do is look at his Facebook page. You never called and checked on him or nothing. This is how sick society has become. And whether we know it or not, black folk, it's because of the same goddamn government you looking to save you. Yeah. You ain't gonna go see your cousin. You gonna go see if he on Facebook. You ain't gonna call him. You ain't gonna call him and check on him. You just, oh, he on Facebook, he alive. This is where we at. This is where we at. This is what's destroying the fabric of America. Because the family has been destroyed, the family structure. And guess what, y'all? Guess what, black folk? It ain't just us. The broken family is not just a black problem. It's an American problem. It's an American problem. The lack of values, the lack of morals, the lack of structure is an American problem, not a black community problem. See, with Trump being in office, Trump just gonna tell the goddamn truth. Listen, we've been throwing this shit off on black people, and we can't no more. Because now it's in our goddamn backyard. Now we got a bunch of white girls who are single mothers and who are on welfare and on Section 8. Now we can't convince these white women to go back to work because they want to be on welfare. It's time to wake up now. It's time to get off the racism bullshit. Look what it's done to white people. Look what it has done to white people. Did somebody say mixed babies? It's at an all-time high. All these little white girls want a little John Quavius. Yeah, little Amber. She wants John Tavius now. She don't want Stan. She don't want Charlie. She don't want Casey and little Blake. No, she wants Marshawn. She wants Taquan. She wants Deshaun. Yeah. Yeah. That's what she want. She want Baby Drill. She want Honcho. She want 21 Savage. The white girls. Who you think they being single mothers for now? See what racism got them? See what all that racism got them? Can you stop your daughter from hanging out in the Orange Mound? Because your little white daughter, she want to be Glorilla. Let her cook. She want to be Glorilla. She want to be Cash Doll. She want to be Sukiana. Yeah. Little Christina. She want to be Suki. So you think the tradition in their family hasn't been broken? See why I tell us we need to worry about us? See, because all that stuff they came up with, they know they came up with it. But now it done did the reverse effect. It done did the reverse effect. Now they daughters want to be in the projects. Now they daughters want a real nigga. Yeah, the white girl want a real nigga with dreads. Yeah, she want her nigga to look like Future. Her nigga sip lean and carry Dracos. The white girls. Yeah. This is why you got Senator Cruz fighting to restore rights and values. Because now they daughters is going to Meg the Stallion concerts and getting half naked, shaking their behinds. Oh, yeah. What you think they fighting for? They fighting for their families. They not fighting to be white. Black folk, it's time to wake up. They not fighting to be white no more. You still think it's about white supremacy? You think they still fighting for that? You think they still fighting for that? Huh? That's what you think? You still think that's on the menu? you think that's still on the menu? Huh? You think that's still the order of the day? You need to wake up. See, they can't talk that white supremacy shit no more when their great-grandson name is Pharaoh. Yeah, Pharaoh. Little mixed black boy. Yeah, what are you talking about? See all that racist shit? It canceled itself out. Because now you got to raise half black babies. That's what they got to do now. Because you know, these little white girls, they like Mexican men. They like African men. And they love Pookie. They love Pookie. They love that nigga from the bottom of the map. Young Jizzle from the bottom of the map. Y'all niggas still talking about white supremacy. Who better... Young Jizzle from the bottom of the map. He had a baby by Jeannie Ma. Y'all still talking about white supremacy? Young Jizzle from the bottom of the map with a 50-round strap. Hey, why you think Jeannie Ma love him? Because he's a coke-selling, gun-toting nigga. That's what she wanted him. That's what they always liked us for. That's why they used to sneak us out in them barns in slavery. They love that shit. They love a rebel black man? Oh, he carries guns. Oh my God, he's not scared to go to prison. I'm gonna bail him out. I love him. He's nothing like my dad. My dad is a rich coward. Oh my God, I love him. You niggas better wake up. And now Jeannie Ma is just doing her little Anglo-Asian Saxon bullshit because she can't control that nigga. That's all that is. But that's why she fell in love with him in the beginning. Why you think they all got to get a piece of the black man? Why you think these girls go against their family to go sleep with the black man? Do you know that Asian women, white women, they're all told Indian, stay away from that nigga Deshaun. That nigga Deshaun? Yeah. You stay away from them Rashons and Dashons and Tavius, any nigga with a Tavius or a Darius, you stay away from them. You better not be with that nigga. People be surprised when they find out my government name because they think I'm a Tavius or Darius or Dante. No, I have a very normal name. And I'm not going to tell y'all my government name Some of y'all already know it because I done got doxxed before. Right? What's up, Erica LaShan? Cutthroat in the building. Salute, Cutthroat. Salute. So when they find out my name, they like, wow, you don't look like that would be your name. You look like your name would be this, or this, or this. You see? See? They done let their racism destroy their own family. And now that it done got this far, they trying to pull this shit back. They trying to fix it. This is the video I'm getting ready to play. See, because whether y'all know it or not, these white women, they don't want this stuff anymore. So when you got black men getting up here saying, oh, black women don't want to be a family. Black women don't want to be this. Some of them don't. But let me tell you something. The majority of them, they know that that's what they need. And who convinced a lot of black women to go against their families was the white woman. See, these black women won't admit that, but they know. Looking at them, thinking that the grass was greener on the other side. See, all that feminism bullshit has destroyed the nuclear family. That feminism bullshit and my right and that and me is why children feel neglected by their mothers. Because the mothers start worrying about themselves and I need a life, forgetting you a mother now. That life shit is over until your kids grow up. See that shit? White women doing it too. It ain't just the black women. White women doing it too. They ain't trying to have no more babies. They ain't trying to be married no more. They trying to run the streets and let it cook. They listening to Glorilla too. They listening to Meg too. They listening to Cardi too. They listening to Lotto. What you gonna give me for my birthday? What you gonna give me for my birthday? Sounded like a big ass kid. What you gonna give me for my birthday? The white women doing it too, y'all. Because what? We are losing, or we have lost our traditional values, our core values. See, traditional things were about core things. See? This is why your grandmama made you eat your vegetables. Because she know vegetables make you healthy. They just gave us meat and starch to make us full. See, I remember a lot of this stuff. My father will always go back down south when he was young. And he used to tell me the things he had to do. Man shit, traditional shit, family things. Grandma just don't get up and cook on no stove. That's modern day shit. You got to go out and chop that wood. You got to get up and go chop that wood. Him and my uncle used to do this. Because the wood that was getting chopped up was going to be for the oven. Yeah. And to keep the house warm. Family. While my grandfather out there in the slaughterhouse, cutting up hogs and cows and all that. This is my great-grandfather and my great-grandmother ran a farm. That's why when my grandfather came and they migrated from the rural South to New York, that was my grandfather's profession before he retired. He was a butcher. He was a butcher, him and my uncle. Know how to use a knife very well. Very well. Don't let that go over your head. Know how to use a knife very well. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what my grandfather did. My grandmother ain't work a day in her life. She never worked for nobody. My grandfather retired from being a butcher. He became a number runner, started working for the mob. My grandmother never worked a day in her life. My father's mother never worked one day. Never worked one day. But now you got kids who they got grandmamas like this, and they get on the internet and say, I don't want to be like her. She had the easiest. Oh, so you want to go outside and be tired all the time? You want that shit. Oh, you want to be a white woman. See, the whole time black women thought being corporate and working and being a feminist was to be a black woman. No, that's actually to be a white woman, because that's what the white woman wanted. The white woman wanted to get out the house. She got tired of folding clothes. She got tired of ironing and hanging up dress shirts and clipping suspenders. Wasn't the black woman. Mm-mm. You've been fooled. You've been fooled. You've been fooled. Why do you think the younger the generations get, the less children are being had by black women? Because you working all the time. You working. But I gotta work because what? Because you got expensive habits. Because you think you deserve to live some type of way. You're not even living in reality. And all of this you working for, how you know you're going to live to see it? What happened to the men dying for the family? Now we got the women dying for the family. Killing themselves working. When it used to be the men. Traditionally, because that is what the men's supposed to do. Biblically, men died for their families and women kept the family traditions going. See? You keep your tradition going in honor of the men who died for his family. That's why you're supposed to keep the tradition. To honor who you come from. See, we've lost this here in America. Honor. What happened to honor? You don't do certain things because of what you honor. What happened to that? See that? And this is what the white guys are fighting with their women about. That's what they fighting their women about. You see? Rights and values. What about our children? What about the next generations? How are we going to be represented from here on out? This is what these men are thinking about. I miss my grandmoms too, Cutthroat. I miss my grandmother too, man. I miss the hell out of my grandmother. And I only got to meet one of my grandfathers. My mother's father, he probably met me one time, probably once. Both of my grandfathers was gone since I was young. Both of them. What's up, JB? What's going on with you? Because we can't depend on our men. Yes, you can. Yes, you can, JB. Yes, you can depend on your men. But see, here's the thing. A lot of, I'm not going to say all of y'all, but a lot of our women, black women in particular, y'all think men are here to make your dreams come true. That is not reality, ma'am. All the shit you see on TV, stop thinking that is the job of your man. I'm not here to bring the stars in our goddamn bedroom. I can't do that. That's fairy tales. You can't depend on us to do what? Buy a Chanel bag? What you can't depend on us to do? Huh? What you gonna give me for my birthday? That? Depend on us to do what? You see? See, when I hear that come out of black women's mouths, I know that's some silly shit. That's why I make a joke out of it. No, that's why I make a joke out of it, L'Oreal. That's why I make it, because it's not reality. It's not. It's not. It's just not. We got to tell the truth. See, part of being traditional, right? And those traditional women, they were also more grounded in reality. They were more grounded in reality. They were more politically sound. This is why the Black Power movements, who was the strength behind the Black Power movements? It was black women. These grassroots organizations that were trailblazed by black men. That stuff was funded, got funded, was backed and supported by black women, traditional-minded black women. That's the strength behind the Nation of Islam. Black women. I know half of my family's in the Nation of Islam. The strength behind those men is their wives. It ain't no money. It's their wives. That's the real strength in that Muslim household. It's that woman. And the men will tell you that. It's them women, them black women. What's the backbone of the goddamn church? The black woman. The traditional black woman. Who bring that spiritual fire into that? Them elderly black women that sit up in the front. That's the one who praying for everybody. That's who really love everybody. Those the ones who act like true Christians. Miss Rose and them up in the front. That's the one when you finally come back to church, she put her hand on your shoulder and say, baby, I've been praying for you. Then you get to weeping like a baby. Because you ain't know it was somebody out here praying for you. It was that black woman. It was that black woman. See, so I don't identify with the silliness. Oh, we can't depend on y'all. Depend on us to do what? Buy you a new car because you want it? See them traditional black women, they ain't think like that. They thought in reality. What I need all this new shit for? What do I need it for? To show off? Look what he bought me. Silly shit. Shit that don't really matter in life. See, that's the stuff. Your grandmother ain't worried about showing off to other women. Your grandmother ain't worried about that. She ain't care about riding in style. That's that modern shit. Where you think you gotta show everybody what you and your family got. What happened to when grandma used to tell us, keep people out your goddamn business and keep people out your house? What happened to that? Are we gonna walk this down? Because we ain't even get to the video yet. What happened to that? What happened to keeping people out your relationship and keeping people out your house? Huh? Remember when grandma used to tell you, they ain't your friends, they want your man. Now, you got these modern women who will argue with their man if they man tell them, hey, keep her away from me. I don't trust her. Yo, don't hang out with her. What happened to that? See, you going against yourself. This is what the American people has realized. White Americans, black Americans, we've been doing shit to go against ourselves. Because we forgot what we was taught. Because those traditional values is what built a strong family. Why you think it took decades to break the nuclear family? Why do y'all think it took decades to break this stuff down? Because those core values is what created strong families. That is what created the village. Because everybody in the village had those core values. I could see your child doing something wrong and chastise him and then bring him to you. Now, don't say nothing to my son. Then when he get his face blown off, oh, nobody cares. But you was the same woman who was telling us don't say nothing to your son, remember? Then when they blew his face off, when they blew his face into smithereens, now nobody ain't help you. Where the men at? Where the men in the community? Where the stand up? Don't start calling niggas out. Because remember when we tried to check that little boy, you said, don't say nothing to your son. So now he's a mural. Okay? Now he's a mural. Because you forgot about what family was. You think the family is just the people in the house. You forgot the family was everybody on the block too. See, I couldn't run around on my block. Listen, me and my homeboys, we had to sneak and do bad shit. Because our parents was outside. They wasn't street like people would say now. They was outside. Our parents went to work. On Fridays and Saturdays, they partying. They outside. So it ain't no we running through my block doing any and everything. Because one of our people was outside. And guess what? If they don't see one of our parents, they gonna come and check us. Hey, boy, stop busting those goddamn bottles before I tell your father. You better stop banging on them doors before I tell your mother. Who remember them days? Who remember them days? We couldn't let Miss J catch us smoking weed when she coming in her house. She's screaming on all of us. We putting the weed out. We covering the bottles. That's going behind, hide the bottle, hide the weed, put the cigarette. That's family. We can't disrespect this woman. We could go in the house and get our ass whooped. That's family. We had to respect who our parents respected. It wasn't no, don't say that to my son. What? Yes, she could say something to me. Because if something happened to me and she know what happened, guess what my parents gonna do? My parents gonna go to them and say, why you ain't say nothing? Why you didn't say nothing to him? You knew what he was doing. You knew you could have said something. See, that's the time we in today. That's the time we in today. Because the values are gone. The values are gone. The values. You see an elderly person walking, you stop everything you doing and you grab those shopping bags. And if they ain't got no bags, ask them, hold the door. Help them out the car. See, that's what we had to do outside. It was structure because we was family. We was family. You not just helping out that elderly woman because she elderly, you also helping her out because she know your grandmother, nigga. She know your grandmother. She knew you when you came out your mama because she knew your mama when your mama came out your grandmother. That's why you better put that weed out and help that woman. What you doing, nigga? You got all day to get high. What you talking about? What you talking about? But look at where we at now. This is an American problem. This ain't just a black community problem. This has now become an American issue. The family dynamic. The family has been tainted so much that now families are at war with one another. Literally at war with one another. See? This country don't have no more time to be racist. Because remember, they used all of these things to divide a certain group of people. But look at what it has done to their people. Look at what racism has done to white people. What up, Mac? Salute. Shout out to Mac Mean in the building. Look at what has done. Look at what it has done to the children of these racist people. These children hate where they come from. See that? Just like black children hate where they come from. See that? You see that? You see that? It has now become an American problem. So you think it's going to get better by them becoming more racist? Guess what that's going to do? That's going to increase the population of mixed children. Because them white girls going to say, like they've been saying, why you hate these black men so much? Why you think they just take care of their mixed grandchildren? Because they don't have no real excuse. They don't have a logical reason to explain to their children why they hate black people. Because there is no logical reasoning for hate. Because hate comes from the devil. There is no logical reasoning for hatred. That's why they raising these little mixed children and they loving them. Because they never had no logical reasoning why. You think they can actually answer their grandchildren why they hated black people back in the day? They can't tell them why. A lot of them don't even know why. A lot of them was just following what they were told. You see? You see? You see what's going on? This is not our problem, black folk. Racism isn't a problem we need to fix because we ain't created. What we need to be focused on is restoring core morals and values. The restoration of family. And this video I'm getting ready to get into, this is what Senator Cruz is fighting. He's fighting for. These white patriarchal men are sitting back and realizing and admitting to themselves, this is what we've created. Look at what we've created. Our creation is now attacking the creators. See that? The sickness that they created is now plaguing them. This is why you see the infighting. See, now they can't blame black people no more. See? This is why I'm telling us, black people, we need to be focused on something else. See, because it done got so bad, they can't throw everything on us no more. They can't do it. They can't even say, oh, that's because it is that. Nope. 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 They can't do it no more, L'Oreal. They can't. They can't because they know that they can't lie no more. And you know why they can't lie no more? Because we have something called social media where their children will get on social media and out them. See? You see? This is why. So let's get to the video. Let's get to this video, man. Let's get to the video like y'all came here to see. Double tap y'all screens if y'all are coming in the vertical feed. Do me a favor. Double tap y'all screens if y'all are coming in on the vertical feed. Let's get into this. Let's get into this. Fair use, YouTube. Fair use, fair use, fair use. This is for educational purposes only. Thank you so much, Miss Classy Creole. Shout out to everyone that's coming through. What's up, Perfectly Imperfect? How you doing? Double tap y'all screens if y'all are coming in the vertical feed. If y'all enjoying the show, donate a like and a share. The links are going across the screen. The super chat is open as well. Support the show, y'all. Support the show. Let's get into the video.
For a stay of the decision.
Well, Judge Netburn, I'm going to continue on this line of questioning. In your court, what matters more, the rights of individuals or your political ideology?
I apply the law to the facts.
I asked a question, which matters more?
Well, my political ideology doesn't matter at all.
Okay, so I don't believe you. And I think this case demonstrates that you are willing to subjugate the rights of individuals to satisfy your political ideology. This case involves a male defendant who raped a 9-year-old boy. Was he guilty of that?
Yes, the petitioner pled guilty to that.
Okay, so he raped a 9-year-old boy. He also raped a 17-year-old girl. Was he guilty of that?
He pled guilty. The petitioner pled guilty to that crime as well.
So was he guilty?
You're not a child, you're a man. So stop wearing so many layers to go outside and get the Bearskin Tactical Hoodie 4.0, the 10-pocket tactical micro fleece hoodie that blocks wind, repels rain, and regulates heat for incredible comfort wherever you are. Because the average hoodie made these.
I hope so, because she pled guilty to it.
He was a he when he did this.
That's correct.
And also criminal deviant conduct, which the record doesn't disclose what that was exactly. Then, after serving in prison, Mr. McLean was released for parole, but then violated the terms of parole by having internet and was sent back to prison. 1 year after being released again, he was convicted of having child pornography. Is that correct?
I'm unclear on exactly the time frame that you're at, but the petitioner was convicted of distributing child pornography.
Child pornography that was images of adults violently raping children.
Abhorrent conduct.
Okay.
For which there are real victims.
And this individual, 6'2", biologically a man. A minute ago, you said that when this man decided that he was a she, you said this individual was, quote, I wrote it down, sober and entirely a female. That phrase struck me as remarkable. Did this individual have male genitalia?
I think what I said, or at least what
that is a verbatim quote, entirely a female.
Sorry, what I meant to say was hormonally a female.
Okay, but that's not entirely.
All right. So what we see going on here, right? Right? What we see going on here is we got Senator Cruz talking to this person about a trans individual who has committed a crime as a woman. Do y'all see what's going on here? This is why I spoke about the woke stuff in the beginning. Because they use the Black conscious community to get us accepting of these types of individuals. The Africa Bambatas, the Brother Polites, these maps, right? Perfectly imperfect. These minor attracted people, these people who are attracted to minors, these predators. See, the conscious community made them look cool. Polite came through wearing all gold. He thought he was a pharaoh. You see this stuff? Look at what's going on in the world, man. We have to begin to fight against these principalities. We have to fight against this stuff. We can't say it's okay, because it's not. We have to start calling out what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. We got to stop trying to make wrong right, because how we feel. Because that's childish. That is what children do. Well, I'm not going to do my homework because I don't feel like it. Why do we have adults living like this? Because we're not thinking about the overall. See, when you become an adult and you become mature, and you are in a position where you are responsible for others outside of yourself, you can't think like that. You cannot live like that. Because guess what? Some of us, if some of us just wanted to live based on how we felt, some of us would be in the goddamn world alone. Some of us would be in the world alone. If we just did what we felt. And what we feel is supposed to be real. Let me say that again. If we feel it's supposed to be real. So that means based on how you feel at a certain time, based on a certain situation, that's how life's supposed to go. And look at where we are now. So let's get back to the video. Look at where we are now. This woman can't answer a straight question because she's basing this off how someone feels. Your identity is not based on how you feel. Because I feel like a woman the past 10 years of my life, that's what I can be. That's not reality. It's not reality. Sorry.
Did this individual have male genitalia?
Yes.
So you took a 6'2" serial rapist, serial child rapist with male genitalia, and he said, you know, I'd like to be in a women's prison. And your answer was, that sounds great to me. Let me ask you something. The other women in that prison, do they have any rights?
Is that a question you're
Yes,
asking me?
the other women in that prison, do they have any rights?
Of course.
Do they have the right not to have a 6'2" man who is a repeat serial rapist put in as their cellmate?
Senator Cruz, I considered the facts presented to me, and I reached a decision.
I asked you a
based on what
question.
the law
I asked
is.
you a question. Do they have a right not to have a 6'2" man who is a serial rapist put in as their cellmate? Do those women have a right to that?
Every person who's incarcerated has the right to be safe in their space.
But you didn't think so. You didn't think so. And in fact, I'm going to give some quotes from your order because Senator Kennedy is right. This is not a judge's order. This is a political activist. By the way, the beginning of your order says, at birth, people are typically assigned a gender. I got to say that would astonish a lot of Americans. A lot of Americans think you go to the hospital, a baby is born, and congratulations, you have a little boy, a little girl. The assigned a gender, I know you went to Brown, but it sounds like it's in a college faculty lounge. With no bearing on reality. The Bureau of Prison argued what I'm saying right now, that if you put this person in a female prison, there will be a risk of sexual assault to the women. And you know what you did? You said you didn't care about the women. I'm going to quote what you wrote. You wrote, quote, the Bureau of Prisons claim penological interest in protecting female prisoners from sexual violence and trauma. This interest is legitimate. That's kind of you to say. But there are no signs that petitioner is at risk of reoffending. The record is devoid of evidence of incidents of violence or assault during petitioner's incarceration when she was the perpetrator, only the victim. A theoretical risk of sexual assault by the prisoner without more cannot support the BOP's position. No evidence, theoretical. Have you dealt, in what universe is someone who is a serial repeat child rapist not at a risk of reoffending?
Senator, as I do in every case.
Okay, I know you've been told to repeat the line, I follow the law. I asked a question. In what universe is someone who is a serial repeat child rapist not at risk of reoffending?
Sir, I looked at the facts that were before me in this case. All of the evidence, including the statements of every warden who had supervised this petitioner.
You also wrote, the BOP also posits that permitting petitioner to live among women will be traumatizing and possibly dangerous to them. This concern is overblown. I have to say, if I were the father of one of those women, and you decided that my daughter's cellmate was going to be a 6'2" man who over and over and over again committed violent sexual assault, I would say the entire justice system is absurd, and it is clear on your record your political ideology matters a heck of a lot more than the rights of those women that you endangered. I think you.
Do y'all see this? Do y'all see what's going on? Do y'all see what's happening to the American people? Do y'all see this? These are white Americans fighting against white Americans. And they're fighting for their human rights. This stuff has become about humanity versus people who are against humanity. See, it's not about race no more. So you can get off the pro-black train, the fake woke train, that Satan, Netta TV conscious crap that promoted pedos, that promoted pederast, that promoted mooks and a mook reality. We could get off of that, because look at what those people gave us. The same people who told us we was God and goddesses gave us the LGBTQ plus community, gave us pedophiles, gave us pederast and cult leaders. A lot of us ain't know who Malachi York was till we start watching Sonetta TV and watching Brother Polite. Those people are the same people who Senator Cruz is speaking against. Predators right on American soil that are being protected by agencies by trying to use their sexual identity to cover up their predatory behavior. So you got a man in this case that we're watching, a man masking himself, calling himself a woman. He should be housed in women prisons when he's already a predator amongst women. As a man. As a man, he has already caught charges for assaulting and being a predator to women. So now that he done changed his name to Caitlyn, we're still not supposed to see him as that predatory man, according to this lady here. According to this lady here who's debating with Senator Cruz. Senator Cruz is saying, if my daughter was in a woman's prison, I wouldn't want my daughter housed with this man, because technically he's still a man. Does he have male genitalia? Yes, then he's a man. I don't care how he feels. I don't care how you feel. What you are. See, we trying to make how we feel our identity. Your feelings could change after you go take a shit. Maybe that's why you're so mad. Maybe you need to go take a good old dump. Maybe if you go take a dump, you might come out the bathroom and start acting different. If that's how we're going to live our lives, if that's how we're going to identify people off our feelings, that doesn't change the reality of a situation. It may change your reality and how you perceive a situation, but that doesn't change what happened. And in this case, whether this man feels like a woman or not, he's a man. And he's already got charges as being a predatory man. So the way these criminals, these sick people, are trying to mask and hide in society now is they're using the DEI issue. They're trying to run away from consequences and penalties for their actions by saying, no, I identify as this. So I can go and grape a bunch of women as a man and then say, no, I'm a woman. I shouldn't be held accountable for those charges that John did when I was John, but now my name is Maria. So I didn't commit those crimes. John committed those crimes. I'm not John anymore. I'm Maria. This is what these people are doing. This is sick. I don't care how you feel about that. That's sick. That's sick. And if you don't see that, you're sick. Because there's a lot of people walking around here and they're not fully human. That's why you have people in society who does not value human life. They don't value human life because they're so caught up in being an individual. Individualism is narcissism. When you think you this solely special individual from everybody else in the world. No, God created human beings, and he created human beings to commune with one another. He didn't create humans to separate and to cause division. That's why we sick as a society. Because ultimately we went against God. And when you go against God, guess what you're doing? You committing suicide. You committing suicide. God didn't create racism. Humans did. So either we diverse or we're in a racist society. Which one? You can't have both. You can't have racism and diversity sitting right next to each other. That's an oxymoron. That's an oxymoron. You see? We got to get back to the core values. Core values. God didn't make humans to be separate by race or none of that. And he made men and women for a reason. He didn't make men and women and then make something else. And let me let you know, you modern people who think you're doing something new, you ain't doing nothing new. It was transgenders back then. They were called eunuchs. Look them up. Men who castrated themselves and became women in society to be accepted socially. This is all sociology. Y'all not doing nothing new. It's all about social progress. So you go turn into a woman because you think it's easier to be a woman in society than it is to be a man. Come on, this is nothing new. Y'all not doing nothing new. Y'all not creating nothing new. See, this is what every generation of people do. We start thinking we done did something new. Look at it, it's in the Bible. Eunuchs are in the Bible. I did a whole show on eunuchs. Come on. Some of them did it for their sexual perverseness, and then others did it for social acceptance. Same thing you have today. You have some guys who want to run and be mooks because they just freaky and nasty and perverts, right? And then you got other ones who do it for social status. So they can move up the social ladder. They did the same thing back in ancient times, back in the day. That was the same reason why you had trannies back then. The same reason. Same reason you have them today. What you think you're doing something new by making it acceptable? It wasn't acceptable in biblical days. It was outlawed then. Or you think because we today, it's a new day. See, this is the arrogance of the human mind. We start thinking we done created something outside of God that somehow was going to supersede what he already said was going to be. This is what humans have always done. This is nothing new. You think you're going to create something outside of God and it's going to be bigger than God. It's going to stick and it's going to rule over God. We're going to make sure these trannies stick. We're going to make rules for them. You people are crazy. This stuff goes against humanity. Let's get back to the video.
You're a radical, and I think you have no business being a judge.
Judge Netburn, there was an opportunity during your exchange with Senator Cruz that you were attempting to offer a response relative to the conditions under which this petitioner was unsafe in the facilities in which she was being held. I'd like to offer you the opportunity to finish that response.
So the facts that were presented to me and what I relied on to make my decision were that the petitioner had engaged in no violence, no physical violence, no acts of sexual violence whatsoever while in custody. All three wardens who supervised the petitioner requested that she be transferred to a women's facility because of her serious medical needs. In addition, the Bureau of Prisons' longtime medical provider testified at a 2-day hearing in my courtroom and recommended that the petitioner be transferred because of her serious medical needs. And the last thing I'll say is that the Transgender Executive Council, which is the body that makes decisions on behalf of transgender transfer requests within the Bureau of Prisons, never said that the petitioner could not be transferred and never, ever said that she couldn't be transferred because of any risk of violence. What the Transgender Executive Council repeatedly said in denying the request was simply that she needed to maintain her hormone levels. That was the repeated justification for the denial of transfer. But the petitioner had reached full female hormone levels before even being incarcerated. At the time, the district judge in Indiana who sentenced the petitioner requested that she be placed in a women's facility. Her hormones were entirely female at that point. And so the decision by the Transgender Executive Council to deny the transfer request based on this idea that it was only because her hormones needed to be consistent and stabilized, I found was a pretext, but they never once said she cannot be transferred because of violence. It was always based on this idea that her hormones had to be.
Thank you, Judge Netburn. Senator
Judge
Padilla.
Netburn, that's
Senator
directly contrary to what your
Senator, you
report
all
said.
have
That is
had
direct-
all.
No,
No.
We're going to
No,
You're
there
going to
is
follow
no
up, and that's
follow-up.
how it
No,
works.
there is not.
That is
There
exactly
is-
how it works.
Look,
If you follow up, you didn't get extra time, and she just directly contradicted her own report. I'm just going to read her own words.
just sitting
because
fair,
it's
Madam
exactly
Chair.
the opposite of what she said. Your own report.
Senators,
quote,
I gave both of you more time to finish your line of questioning. I allowed the witness to finish her. I allowed the witness to finish her response. I allowed the witness to finish
You're
her
abusing
response.
your status
That is,
chair.
Okay, I understand
That
that you're
is not-
scared
You
of their
are
actions.
abusing
I
your
have-
status
Chair.
as chair.
Senator
Madam Chair,
Padilla.
You
Madam
can't
Chair,
just open
Thank you,
up
Madam Chair.
testimony and then
she
not
has an
give us a
obligation to
chance
explain
cross-examine.
why she directly contradicted what she wrote in her report. She says in her report, the Bureau of Prisons' claimed penological interest is in protecting female prisoners from sexual violence and trauma. She just told you the Bureau of Prisons didn't say there was a concern about sexual violence and trauma. Those are directly contradictory. And why are you contradicting what you wrote in your report?
And what are
Thank
you
Madam
trying to
Chair. I
hide,
believe
Madam
I have
Chair?
the floor.
No, wait, point of
I
order.
believe
Senator
I
Padilla.
have the
What are
floor.
you
Senator
trying to
Padilla.
hide,
Are you going to let her
Madam
answer that question?
Senator
or you
Padilla.
don't want her to answer that question?
Senator
You're
Padilla.
afraid?
This
Very
is
much,
a
Madam
cover-up,
Chair.
Madam
Senator
Chair.
Are you
Padilla.
afraid of the answer to
This
that?
is
Colleague.
no
Cover-up.
Are
Senator
you afraid
Padilla.
of the answer to that question?
Senator
Colleagues,
Padilla.
So yes,
My
you are
time.
afraid of the answer
This
to that
is
question.
Senator
ridiculous.
Padilla.
Please hold
Clearly,
my
you're
time.
afraid of the answer to that question.
This is
Thank you.
absurd.
To the nominees before us, appreciate your patience and your dignity.
Y'all see what's going on in America? Y'all see what's going on amongst the patriarchy? Y'all see this? Now, they're fighting for the rights and the future for their children. See, it's time for us as Black folk to start worrying about ourselves. Do for self. Worry about ourselves. Worry about how we getting along. Worry about us accepting each other, loving ourselves, loving one another, helping one another. Because I find that Black people have become the most racist people. You know why? Because we're the most divided. We're the most separated. We think we can't do shit, but we believe that everybody else could do more than us. And it is because we don't know what's really going on out here. Them people at war with themselves. So we could stop playing the victim card and let's start working together. Togetherness versus racism. Togetherism versus racism. Why can't we adopt that ism? Togetherism. Can we adopt that? Can we adopt that? Because look at what's being fought on the world stage. Look at what's going on. Make sure y'all check out that show. Shout out to you, Ms. L'Oreal. I appreciate that. Check out that show that Ms. L'Oreal put in the chat. Where I spoke on eunuchs, the first transgenders. See, we don't play no games over here. This is not about promoting this to dislike nobody or to hate anyone or none of that. This is about facts over feelings. Your feelings is never going to disprove a fact. And why Black people can't feel like we need to get things together with one another. We have all these negative feelings. Why we can't feel that we need to fix certain things amongst each other. Let me understand you as a human, and before I can understand you as a trans. Because I don't care what you sexually identify as. I respect humanity. Right? And I don't respect people who go against humanity. But I don't have to treat you anyway because how I feel. But you shouldn't treat me no way because I feel the way I feel. You see? And this is what we need to be focusing on. Getting back to core values and human rights. See, now, the things black people used to march for, to be treated like humans, because racism was weighed heavily against us. Now those same racist people, are now fighting for what we was fighting for. God work in mysterious ways. My mother always told me that. Son, don't worry, because God work in mysterious ways. Look at God. Look at God. Got all them racist people fighting one another. And black people need to pay attention to that, and we need to come together and get our shit together. While they sitting there fighting, let them fight. Because now they fighting for their own human rights. Remember, that used to be us, black folk. Because racism is a DEI issue. Just like sexism. Racism is too. But look at what they're fighting against. Transgenderism. They want to bring back what? Core values and human rights. You know the things we used to march for? Black people? We called them civil rights. When we just wanted to be treated as humans because we were being treated inhumane. See how God worked? See how God worked? Let's let God work. And we do what we're supposed to do now. Now it's time for us to get our families back together. Start loving on each other again. Let the enemies fight each other. Let them fight each other. See? We're not even paying attention to the landscape. Let them fight each other. Purple Groovy. Mm-hmm. You looked it up, didn't you, Purple Groovy? We've been talked about that. We've been spoke about this, Purple Groovy, right here on Sheepstay TV. Make sure you check out that show. What up, 888? Shout out to my guy, 888 in the building. How you been, bro? What's up, Queen Shay? You reap what you sow. Tell him again, Queen Shay. You reap what you sow. Here, all this time, we've been fighting for human rights. We just want to be treated right in society. Now, those same people is fighting so their children could be treated right in the future. So their children don't become slaves to a system the way we were. Are y'all paying attention? See that? You see that? The same stuff we marched for, got hosed down, all that stuff. Look what's happening to them people now. Now they becoming SJWs, social justice warriors. Now they're becoming SJWs. Wake up, black people, black Americans. If that's what you consider yourself, wake up. Wake up. And understand what's going on. And I'm specifically talking to the men. It's time for us to wake up and stand on core values. See, I told y'all brothers a long time ago, brothers, traditional masculinity was going to come back. Traditionalism it's going to come back because that's what's going to keep this place alive. This modern day stuff is going to destroy everything. It already have. Look at the music industry. All these modern day practices. Look at the music industry. Look at the movie industry. Look at sports. Look at all of this stuff. Tainted, corrupted. Because we didn't follow tradition. We didn't follow what God told us to follow. He told us that this stuff will corrupt us because it already did to the people in the past when he had to reset the earth. We doing the same thing the people did in Sodom and Gomorrah. Men sleeping with men, women sleeping with women, men and women sleeping with animals. This is all biblical. It's in the Quran, it's already been documented. We doing the same thing. What you think gonna happen? What you think is gonna happen? That's why God constantly sent who? Messengers and prophets to tell the people to move away from that life. Because that life will destroy you. What it has done to America. This is why Trump wants to put prayer back in school. Why he want to put prayer back in school? See, these racist people know what they done to the earth. Now, guess what they're going to have to do? They got to correct it. So black people, instead of you sitting around worrying about what these Anglo-Saxon white men are going to do, you need to be worrying about your family and how we going to get this back together and how we going to start loving each other and working with each other again, like we did during the Black Wall Street days. When black people were prominent. Black people were prominent because we cared more about togetherism than racism. We didn't worry about who hated us. We were focused on us loving each other. That was more important than who hated us. See, you are more worried about who hate us now more than who love you. See how the devil done got our minds? We so caught up on who hate us. Why you ain't thinking about who love you, nigga? You ain't thinking about that, right? You don't never sit back and think about, well, damn, how many people love me? It's hard for the black mind to even think like that, right? Because we dealt and met with so much trauma. We can't even sit back and say, well, damn. I remember those days, man. Let me try to reconnect with those people. Let me try to reconnect. Don't say, see, this is what we say now because we scared to reconnect. Oh, everybody just living their life. You don't know if you pick up that phone and call your homeboy from back in the day, he might start crying because he missed you, nigga. I just reconnected with one of my homeboys from junior high school. This nigga was so happy to hear from me, it shocked me. I was on the phone like, yeah, but on the inside, I was like, damn, this nigga love me. This nigga love me. We be sitting around worried about who don't love us, who don't care about us, who always talking about me. We ain't sitting back thinking about the people who love us and who want to see us do well and who care about just your mere existence, not what you did for them, but the fact that you still alive, you still breathing, you still amongst the living. We need to seek out those people and be around them and reconnect with family because that's family. That's family. You see that? The people who love you for you. It ain't always the people you was born into. It's the people who love you for you. Like my brother JT, the underrated darkness, he used to always say, do you care about my existence? He used to always say that. Do you care about my existence? This is what we need to be focused on as Black Americans. Yeah, it is hard. You know why it's hard, champ? Because it's hard for us to forgive each other. It's hard for us to forgive each other. And that's the hard part we got to get done, champ. How we going to be champions if we can't overcome the difficult parts, champ? Look how you greet brothers. Peace, champion. You know what being a champion means? That you've overcome the hard parts. You've overcome the hard parts. You know those days when you felt like quitting. When you didn't want to say sorry. Yeah. When you ain't want to say sorry because you ain't do nothing wrong in the beginning, but you did something wrong at the end. And I'm going to tell you what it was. You held a grudge. And again, God work in mysterious ways because I'm talking to myself while I'm talking to y'all. Because that's something I need to stop doing. Holding grudges against people who hurt me. That's why it's hard, champ. But how we champions if we ain't get over the hard part? We ain't get over the hard part. How we champions? How we champions? When we didn't overcome our fears. How we champions? How we champions? When we haven't become better. A lot of times we be focusing on why people ain't this way, why people ain't that way. Nigga, why you not the champion? Why you not focusing on bettering you? Because whatever they done to you, that's their problem. It's not yours, bro. This is what I had to learn. That they got to deal with the dirt they've done to you. You don't have to deal with it. All you have to deal with is what was done to you initially. Anything after that is on you. How you feel about yourself, how you feel about them, that's all on you. It ain't on them. You can't place judgment on them, nor could you put any consequences on them. It's already written that they're going to have to deal with what they done to you. But who do you become after it's done to you? Who do you become? And this is where Black people can't move on. You see? See, if we got past this type of stuff that we talking about now, we wouldn't even worry about racism. We wouldn't even be worried about racism. We wouldn't be worried about sexism. We wouldn't be worried about feminism. We wouldn't be worried about none of that. because we all feel loved and we showing love. So don't nobody need to go create their own community to feel accepted. I don't get it. That's true, perfectly imperfect. You learn a lot when you isolate yourself. You learn a lot about yourself. But it all depends on the person too, perfectly imperfect, because for some people, isolation isn't good. Because when some people isolate, they become more self-deprecating. So some people need to be around people because they actually need good energy to feed off of. Some people don't isolate well. You know, that doesn't happen for everybody. You know? So they might have to learn how to communicate around a healthy group of people first, and then transfer into isolating, because now they feel a little more comfortable being alone and having those thoughts alone. You see, that's why y'all always hear me say healing is a process. It's not an event. It's a process. It's a process, y'all. Trust me, it's a process. Perfectly Imperfect says, and grateful for what we had. Yeah. Scorpio says, I ride alone. A lot of Scorpios do. But Scorpios are very loving individuals. And they actually like to be around people more than what people think. But usually they ride alone because they've been burned a lot in life. You're right. Most don't do well, but it gives them time to think. Yes, it does. It does. Shout out to my man, Art of War. Appreciate you, Art of War. Appreciate that, man. He said, hey, bro, you was cooking today. Shout out to you, Art of War. I appreciate that super chat, man. If y'all enjoyed today's show, man, support the show. The links are going across the screen. The super chat is open as well, man. I definitely wanted to come to y'all today with this conversation, man, because listen, it's time for us, and I'm speaking to the Black community. It's time for us to focus on what has always worked. We don't have no more time to be trying something new. Because with us doing all that, look at where we are. Let's go back to what's right and what has always worked. Now, you could do what you want to do, but just don't have nobody to blame, because you're not, because listen, whether y'all believe it or not, all of this stuff, y'all not going to have nobody to blame soon. Ain't going to be no blaming nobody. That's why a lot of y'all join these communities and think y'all need communities to be a part of in these little social justice circles and all of that stuff. That stuff not going to save you. It's not. And a lot of y'all get down with that stuff and try to use it as a shield. Man. Let's get back to tradition, y'all. Tradition. Because as we saw today, we had Senator Cruz fighting for rights and values, man. That's what he's fighting for. That's what Trump is talking about when he means making America great again. Y'all thought America was great when America was racist? Huh? No, it's guys like Donald Trump and Elon Musk who see that that is what destroyed this country. That ain't what made it great. That's what put it in the shithole it's in now. And why the government and all these different government agencies got to get bailed out. It's because of that. See, Trump and them know that. Trump and them know that. That's why this country is in the shithole it's in. Because of racism and white supremacy. It has come back to bite them in their own ass. Now racism and white supremacy and all of these isms and schisms is in their house. Is at their front door. It's being practiced by their children. You see? So now, guess what we need to focus on, black folks? Not racism, not feminism, togetherism. You ever heard of that ism? You ever heard of that ism? Togetherism? That's what we need to focus on. Togetherism, because togetherism is part of traditionalism. You know what's a part of modern day stuff? For all you people who like modern day ideology, you know what that is called? Rugged individualism. Rugged individualism, right, is the basis of racism, is the basis of sexism, because it's all about self, narcissism. All of this stuff comes from rugged individualism. See? See? Which is destroying America, man. Togetherism. We can't see that, champ, because we too caught up in the other isms, the feminisms, the racisms. We caught up in the other isms and schisms that's destroying this country. Black people, we need to stop focusing on that, because that stuff will only plague us now if we interact with it. That's what I'm saying, champ. None of those things will affect us now if we don't interact with it. You see? We need to start interacting with togetherism. You see? Because that's what God told us to do in the beginning, to love one another. That's what he instructed his people to do. To love and to serve each other. Service. How's the customer service when you walk into a black business today? Shit. Because that's how they look at black folk. Because they racist. Because they racist. You walk into one of these white establishments, they treat you with more respect and coof than a nigga. Walk in one of these black restaurants, they don't want to give you no napkins. They sucking their teeth if you come up and ask for extra sauce. Because we don't want to serve each other, because we don't love one another. We practicing racism on each other. See that? Togetherism, y'all. I appreciate everyone for pulling up to today's show. Shout out to everyone in the building, man. Shout out to that. See, this is the modern day thinking. This is the modern day thinking. This is the modern day thinking. You think you a slave because you serve somebody. When the act of service shows humanity. You see this? This is why people are spiritually dead. They don't know that as a human being, that's what you're supposed to do. Acts of service. You're not a slave. This is the spiritually dead people. Spiritually dead. They dead. You don't want to serve people, but you serve Pornhub every night. You go and you service Pornhub every night. You watch your goddamn cable TV service every goddamn night, but you don't want to serve your people. You got a problem with serving your people, but you ain't got a problem tending to your habits, to your addictions. You ain't a slave to that though. I ain't no slave for nobody. Yes, y'all. You watch porn every night. What you talking about? You a slave to lust. What you talking about? What you talking about? You are a goddamn slave. What you talking about? Acts of service doesn't make you a slave. But this is the modern day thoughts. This is the modern day mindset of a poisoned people, because we're in a godless nation. Make sure y'all go to the playlist section of my channel when this show is over and go and check out the playlist, A Godless Nation. We're in a godless nation. That's why we are where we are in this country. If you look at these other nations, go and look at the countries that's part of BRICS. They all have a God. They're not godless nations. They believe in God and they structure things accordingly to their God. America is a godless nation. Got everybody being servants and slaves to a devil or to a demon. But I tell you, you a slave because you love helping people. But shout out to everyone, man, because we'll keep going all night, man. Shout out to everyone in the building. I appreciate all the love and the support. Salute, 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 salute. Thank you so much, Scorpio. I appreciate you. If you supported today's show, shout out to you. Shout out to you. Shout out to everyone. If you hit the Cash App, shout out to y'all, man. Much love to y'all. I appreciate my man, Arthur Wolf, for hitting the super chat today. Salute to everyone. Shout out to my lovely lady mods. Shout out to my lovely lady mods for always coming through and holding it down on today's show. We will be back tomorrow. We will be back tomorrow with another show. Shout out to everyone, man. Salute to all the visionaries. Get down in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think of today's show, man. DS1 Ross, SHEEPSTAYSLEEPTV. And remember, y'all, we are our own agency. We are our own agency. Catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.